Poem in which I become a bear, and fled to the saw-toothed haunts of the forest, distended and gestating. The bear had been swelling inside of me, a cervical cyst with a thicket of hair, since '98. Unkindly form, unkempt and eager-eyed, all her stares were sidelong. Bear would be born, a stiff aura of fur radiating outward like a halo from my cunt. Sundered, surrendered, not knowing how to say, so bear. You could drown in bear, all your precious memories accessible to fire. Bear would be worn on the outside, not your soft bear, stuffed animal eyes turned to the wall. No, not a stuffed bear, but a girl stuffed with being bear. This crypt of thistles, hair quake, hair waltz, a carney's horny bearded bride. A bear is a threshold, a bear is a furred terminus, carnivoran frontiers self-lubricating howl. In the forest I licked my shame to shape. There were tremors, there was vomit, until I became upholstered in bear, until I became a sprinting crouch, bellowing my bleak disclaimers to the hills. Come at me, I dare you. My mouth grew long, innovating bayonets. I gathered mass. Pick the crust off a girl, there's a bear beneath. He thinks he did this. They think I think he did this. They think I am sorry. A bear as a stain becomes part of the design. I have eaten men alive, corrupted and replete. I have hugged my own consoling bulk all night long. Between maiden and mother, a bear. Her shape stirred into the circumpolar sky like nuts in fucking yogurt. Not a sky bear eye, no azimuth, no altitude, no catalogue of stars. I choose the damp earth under me, close enough to him to take off his head. In the ancient Grecian world, you could never be blameless enough or powerful enough. There was no single way you could circumvent male violence. That's what these poems are kind of about. Iphigenia. Stapled eyelids, steepled fingers, sleep. My telescope has sleuthed the swarming stars for signs. By telescope I mean my eye is a torch-bearer, rearing its manifold fires, my fires leaping in relays. There's a light inside of men, both permanent and obsolete. This moon has bitter marvels, banalities and guises throws. Some monster stalks my ornamental histories, sluggish centre, vervain, silver, shimmer-root are all my apotropic charms, staunch and bane my ruing herbs, and I would sleep, succumb to its eddying medicine, but sleep is a false friend, and plenty enough of that when I'm stare into the riddling abyss of self-absorption. The mirror turns my calculations, jagged my saffron robes to rope. I come at myself obliquely in a semi-circular motion, my eye bags are crowned with cotton balls. A girl is a kind of professional orchid. My veil becomes oblivion, I practice myself through a fine tool mesh. Oh, girling fate, textbook of transparencies. Maiden is a cod-liver word mutating in a liturgical spoon. I know what's coming. Father on the stairs creaking to correct my gravity. He's prepared a pyre, a paraffin digression among the heaped briquettes. A big man now, all his principles distilled to oath inside a smoky glass. A bad day concentrate in a chipped tooth, in a nicked chin, in tiny tissue paper squares. His uniform buttoned to comeuppance, and up he comes. Something shiny and primitive is polishing itself along the edge of my presentiment. His eyes are running like undercooked egg. He has muck on his boots. He bears the green dirt like a perfume has kicked the malfunctioning flora into heaps. There's a knot tied in his tight white binding. My spine is a ribbon for stringing beads. Here is the night's girdling hand. My thighs move into alignment. He says my name becomes a blush, becomes a tunnel to redundancy. It wasn't just gods and heroes that were super rapey and stab happy. It was also mortal men. My life is a popular frieze. I had my cults and carvings, Zoanon and effigies, small wonders worked in wood. I laid the path, I made the mark. From ipecac a rhizome dried, I drew the dark set spinning sun and moon. This world was never yours, you soft-boiled boys. But now my sheeted icons stare from cat-piss peeling corners, and the room is bare. Listen. Egged on and 3 sheets on shore leave Peleus-like to sickle place in me. My filaments and lamellae, my fertile surface, fruiting body firm, these gills, these scales, more lachrymose mouths. Cry all you want, decanting the day's quota of honeyed doom into the shape of me. I had my acolytes, my aspects, all my subtle ways of raving. His damask anaglyptus, a theory of hysteria. Wandering woo, my chambered brain was wayward. Honeycomb's compressive strength, my suspect structures riddled from within. I was a snake, I was a lion in a fire and a strong wind wheeling his ship toward the rocks. His was an abductor's grip, proficient finger crooked into a fishhook pun, caught, landed, gaping, would strip entreaty out of air, had I breath. The taste of his flesh burns brackish. I am a razor-shell pride apart. I had my rites and prophecies. In 9 months' time they'll hang me at the end of a jetty like a shark. Slit my belly and see what falls out. A license plate, a glass amphora, a mostly mortal child. And that's all from me, because more feminist reinterpretations of Greek classics was exactly what poetry needed right at this juncture. But yeah, enjoy.